Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Alright, today the latest June edition and the latest kits coming out of ICM in the Ukraine. Phew, they're still under this rather unfortunate, well, that's putting it mild, isn't it, war conditions. You know, unfortunate doesn't really even begin to say it, but they're doing a brilliant job, aren't they, to be honest. And some very tricky news comes out, you know, daily of the difficulties that they face, and they're still producing great stuff. So we take our hat off to them and say thank you very much, especially for allowing us to see these kits. And it's the constant stream of new interesting stuff. Now this is not a brand new tool or anything. This is the Last Marauder we're going to look at today. So that's it. I think they've flogged it now as much as they can. Nice. It's an interesting new box art. 48 scale, of course, and it was my kit of the year in 2024. So it's gone for 18 months. It's been going. Well, it came out in it's actually 2 years, isn't it? Because it came out around Easter time. So it says the model represents the late production variants of the B26 Marauder and accurately captures the distinctive features of the G version. The geometry and proportions of the original aircraft are faithfully reproduced with detailed cockpit and fuselage interior equipment, and it has a decal sheet for the last production 26G Marauder. 380 parts. So we'll only have a quick shuffle at it. Not really necessary to look at the kit in too much detail because we have seen the actual G version before, well, a couple of times I think now. But let's look at what we got. Let me see if I can cut this nice and gingerly. We'll have a look at some interesting nose art on this one again. Different variants. I say, okay, you know, this is not a new kit, but a lot of the kits they've been bringing out, you know, every month we've had at least sort of one new kit, haven't we? One new tool a month. It's amazing. Doing really well with them, I think. And you know, they're not average kits, are they? They're top of the line kits. Premium quality. I'm sorry I'm not wearing the jacket again today. Just impossible. It's actually going hotter as I speak. I'm trying to get this filmed as quickly as possible because the sun has come out and the temperatures are rocketing as I speak, so I won't be hanging about with this one. Right, another beautiful Marauder with that fantastic riveting detail and pan lining that we all love so much. Amazing quality on the clear parts. Interesting that they haven't wrapped it in any kind of foam this time, but don't think they really need to be honest. It's in a separate bag, so it should be okay. Quite well done actually, to be fair. What we're really interested in on this one, I think, I mean the clear parts are famous on this for being so perfect. Maybe I will just have a look at the clear parts as a treat, just to remind people, those of us that have forgotten. We'll look at that in a second. Just bear with me one tick. I'll move that somewhere more sensible, which is probably going to be here. There we go. Right, let's have a look at what we got. So it says, in April 1945, as the Second World War in Europe was drawing to a close, the historic moment took place at the Martin factory in Middle River. It's Ohio, isn't it? The final B-26G of the legendary Marauder series, tail number 44-68254, rolled off the production line for the last time. Symbolically, the aircraft was named Tail End Charlie, a pilot's slang referring to the last in the formation. The aircraft made its maiden flight on 18th of April 1945. Wow, this is like a week or so, 10 days before Hitler killed himself, isn't it? It became a symbolic link between the beginning and the end of the Marauder production story. It was linked to test pilot Pat Tibbs, whilst the co-pilot's seat was occupied by Ken Abel, the company's chief designer, who also taken part in the first flight of the original B-26 5 years earlier. That's amazing. As a result, Abel became one of the very few pilots to have flown both the first and final aircraft of any series that ultimately rolled towards 5,266 machines. It's a lot of bombers, isn't it? The Last Marauder saw combat service on the 10th of May 1945, 2 days after Germany's surrender. Sorry, I beg your pardon, it never saw combat service. 2 days after Germany surrendered, the aircraft was officially transferred to the French Air Force. Oh, so it It didn't last long with the Americans. That's a shame, then, isn't it? So it's transferred to the French. Okay, right. Well, as I say, we have seen the model repeatedly, so I think we should just really concentrate on its decals because I think that's what's going to make it really special. There is just a decal set for. There is just a decal set for the Tail End Charlie, the final production run as it left the factory. In fact, Tail End Charlie 30. I'm not sure what the 30 means. 30 it didn't explain that, did it? I've got to say to you, if I'm being bluntly honest, I think these are the Edouard produced decals, and I'll tell you why. We've got excessive carrier film in terms of the shadowing or the silhouette around the decal, and the colours are a bit, on those American stars and bars, they're a bit dull, aren't they? That colouring is a bit off, I think, actually. So I think this has been produced for ICM by our friends at Edouard, which is, yeah, and it doesn't say either. It's a bit vague about it. Just don't think that blue's the right blue. It's a bit too pastel-y looking for me, and it's not like that on the box art, so that's a little bit unfortunate. So I'm guessing that there is just the one version. Yep. So at the end there is. It's going to be short, isn't it? So there is just the one version in this case. This particular final Tail End Charlie. That's as it appeared, as it came out of the factory, and of course then they transferred it to the French. So that's a shame they didn't give the French markings as well, though. To be honest, that's a little bit of a shame. Anyway, there we go. Got to be brutally honest, I'm not a fan of these alternate decals that seem to be produced by Edouard. They always seem to lack colour density to me. If we zoom in really closely, I wonder if you can see what I mean. You might see it on the stars and bars, this star and bar at the end. Let me see if this is, don't know if this will replicate on the camera as well as it does to the sort of naked eye. Yeah, I think it does. You can see it's a little bit, A, it's a bit blotchy, B, it's not very sharp particularly, like they normally are, and C, it's got this very wishy-washy blue. So, might have to knock it down 1/4 of a point for that, I'm afraid. Yeah. I mean, it may well be that ICM are just at capacity in what they can produce, you know, because of the reasons, shall we say. I don't know. I don't think that's the best. That's not my best decals ever, let's be honest. But let us cheer ourselves up, because we know the kit is an absolute beauty. Let's have a final look. It's the Last Marauder. Let's have a look at the clear parts and remind ourselves once again why I get so excited about ICM's clear parts. He says, crossing his fingers. So just very gingerly undo that. Dive into here. Get our clear parts out. Because this I think they do better than anybody else. Now, I did get a report, or a couple of comments actually, about the Hamden, where I had a problem with the Churchill suitcase Hamden, and somebody else had the similar problems with it being a little bit bowed and a bit crushed in the bag. So I think that perhaps they still maybe have a slight issue. There's a slight scuff on this little tiny viewing window here, little starlight window. This is a friction scuff, which is easy to get rid of. I mean, dead easy. Just a little bit of sanding stick, a mild polishing one will probably take that off. Don't know if you can even see it. Actually, it's just on the tip. You can actually feel it feels a bit scuffy there. But look at the rest of it. Look at the bubble nose. Just perfect, you know. Really, really nice, aren't they? They do clear parts like really nobody else. Let's have a look at the other. I'll pop that back in. I might just have to give them feedback about that, because it does seem that there's still a bit of an issue with scuffing going on. I didn't used to get at all. It's something that's happened recently, this. So we have got here the rest of the clear parts. We're hoping we won't have any scuffing here, and we don't. Maybe a little bit there. Yeah, it's just that you could do with that. You remember previously that they've actually wrapped these in a little bit of foam. So whether that's suddenly not become available because of the shortages, just because of the war conditions, I don't know. But yeah, it might be better if they went back to putting it in foam just to stop scuffing, because there's some friction going on here, and that was down. Now it's in a bag, admittedly, but there's still friction occurring even with the bag, and I think foam would prevent the friction. So I might just give that feedback to ICM, because we previously haven't seen it, and we've had a couple of 2 or 3 kits now that have had this sort of scuffing or sort of mild packing damage, shall we say. But look at this, let's not beef on about it. Look at that. Look at the beautiful clear parts here. Look at how nicely formed everything is. It's so crisp, isn't it? So sharp. Oh, look at that. Lovely, lovely windows. Oh yeah. It's just, you know, industry leading standards, isn't it, really? Look at that. Absolutely corking. That's very nice. Huh. Absolutely superb, aren't they, really? Yeah, very nice. I just think that they are, you know, they're just perhaps missing a trick. I'm not sure how many of these they're going to sell, this particular variant of the Marauder, because I think that several people may already have a couple of them. It's a nice, I like the marking, I think that's really nice. What if they should go in together now? We'll keep them separate, as they were. Right, put that back in there then. I say, any minor scuffing you saw there, it was minor. You can either get a little bit of polish on it, which will take that off, I think, or just a very smooth polishing sanding stick will remove it with ease, I'm sure. No great effort required at all. A 5-minute job, just that. Aren't they nice kits though, yeah? Beautiful clear parts, you know, very nice. Just going to have to knock it a 1/4 of a point off because of those decals. I don't think they're, still don't think they are that great. But I do love them all. You see, interestingly, now, see what I mean? Interestingly, they've used some foam here, just as a point to show you. They've actually used foam there, where I'm not entirely convinced they need it. A little bit of foam between. And they haven't used any foam. It's almost like somebody's made a mistake and put it in the wrong bag. I think that should have been on the clear parts, which they normally are. So I'll feed that back. It's not a deal breaker, we don't need them to replace it or anything. But I think you just give them a little bit of feedback, saying just something in your process is slightly out of kilter with what is the norm. And they seem to be putting the foam in the wrong places when they're not really needed. Just a tweak, just a word in somebody's ear. We'll fix it. Anyway, 9.75 out of 10. It's a lovely kit, nice scheme as well. The very Last Marauder. There we go. Hope you thought that was interesting. Anyway, we've got plenty more from ICM to come. Please stay tuned, and you will be seeing those in the very near future. Until next time, thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. We need a like, please. Comment, that helps the algorithm, drives the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to please subscribe to Peter Goes Rogue before you go as well. Until next time, thanks a lot, take care of yourselves, and bye for now.